We're muted.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
Welcome back to Crossplays D&D, etc., etc. Thanks, Matt, for letting us know we were muted. I'm sure we'll cut this part out.
Chat GPT. We'll cut to the chase. Summarized from our notes the summary of what has brought us to this place, and it goes like this. The text describes a series of events involving a group of adventurers. They discover that a powerful entity named Grazit was kept in a gem form in a tower while a ziggurat was being constructed by dwarves. The adventurers encounter a room with magic doors that they cannot initially open, but one of them, Christine, Glanda, succeeds with a natural 20 roll. They find Grazit's great sword and encounter a golem who protects the ziggurat. By adding blood to a chalice, they trigger the opening of a stone staircase. However, when they try to escape, the golem attacks them, and some of the adventurers are trapped in clay. Eventually, they manage to release themselves and reach Grazit's gem, where they decide to release him. However, Grazit turns against them and dominates their minds, causing chaos. A sudden shift occurs, and the adventurers wake up on a fixed-up wyvern without any memory of the past few weeks. They learn that Tergar, one of their companions, was decapitated by Grazit but resurrected. They return to Saltmarsh, where they encounter strange occurrences and investigate Lady Tolliver's house. Lady Tolliver had disappeared, and the adventurers find her journal indicating her deteriorating mental state. They also meet several druid interns. The adventurers unlock the journal and learn that Lady Tolliver's visit to the ziggurat had a profound effect on her. This summary also mentions a few characters such as Kaylee Restahand, who owns a boat bar, and Slick Tongue, a bouncer / maitre d'.
Is that true?
Wow.
That's bravo. I'm impressed.
Me too.
It's pretty good.
I have to ask, is that based on the quality of the notes that you gave it?
I mean, the last 2 pages of notes in that document were pretty good. Like, I tried to feed it more of the nonsense, and it was just like, what do you want me to do with this?
I think what impressed me the most was Al's Leonard Nimoy impression reading that.
That actually was the best part. Wow.
I may say it was a highly logical impression.
Well, I will just throw some applause at you because that was clearly excellent work, which only people on North Star will hear. So let us pick up and keep on from where we were last time. Yes, you, as ChatGPT had noted, you did spend some time investigating the last moments and last months of Lady Tolliver's time on the island. And I think ChatGPT also conspicuously avoided talk of Gnorman and Glanda's visit to the Lizard's boat. They mentioned that they had gone, but maybe not what happened on it. That there was the dress rehearsal for the arrival of the king in the form of Gnorman.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe that just wasn't notated.
Maybe that is entirely possible. I don't think we wrote that down.
I mean, it's good, but it's not telepathic, so there's that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we keep awful notes was the moral of that story. That's, yeah.
Well, the moral was that despite the awful notes, it did a pretty good job of bringing us back. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Hey, we take notes. I think we can be proud of the fact that we even take notes.
Absolutely. I'm terrible at taking notes. So the question is, what do you fine folks want to do now? You have, I'm going to say that you spend the rest of the night just regaining some of your footing in Saltmarsh, catching up on some sleep, getting yourself back into civilian clothes, not wearing your armor everywhere now, maybe seeing some people that you knew, hanging around the streets, that kind of thing. generally taking the vibe of the festival of the impending snow flurries, or whatever we've called the Christmas stand-in. It's there's a delightful buzz in the air. The combination of the impending festival and the possible imminent arrival of King Scody has got everybody excited. So, it's hard not to get caught up in it. But you have multiple things that you may or may not be interested in pursuing. Which of those would you like to pursue tonight?
Could I ask that question? And it's not that we're going to pursue this, but did we go back to that island where everyone was charmed, where Lady Tolliver's cabin was? Did we go back to that island? We did, didn't we?
You did.
And she was not there, or at least we couldn't.
That's right. And the cabin, her cabin cottage, whatever you want to call it, was decrepit. It was in an advanced state of disrepair. And you did see evidence of your visit there, but it's like time had passed.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't even know where to begin to look for her. I think Tergar would like to look for her, but I don't know where we would even begin. And I think there's probably more pressing things facing the town. I don't know what the gang thinks here. So,
are there more pressing things?
Well, I'm just worried about the lizard people and that they're being hunted by the those water demons there. The Seguin.
It's a Haugen.
Did we give them weapons or something?
Yeah, we did.
And you had further learned that the town council had ultimately agreed to an unlikely alliance with the lizard people.
Yeah.
And had also they've been convinced to engage in some weapons trade. So the lizard folk are being armed by the town of Saltmarsh.
And wasn't there something with the water elves as well that came up in the last session where...
Yeah, they had been the one to advise Lady Tolliver that there had been a disturbance out by the island of the Ziggurat that maybe had a damaging impact on that
so that
structure.
Could be something. We could go talk to them if we want to keep going along that line with Razit and all that. But
you got options.
Christine? Do you have any...
I mean, I'm cosplaying as the king right now, so I'm happy just like staying the course and hanging out and having a good time.
Yeah, we were in the bar, right?
Indeed. You probably shut down the lizard's boat. Having a pretty great time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Glonda, have a storyline right now. So I'm like, whatever everybody wants to do. The last one was big me. So if somebody else has an idea for where to go next, I will faithfully follow.
I'd love if that's how you talked in like real life. Well, today was a big storyline for Christine, and so if anyone...
Guys, I'm just going to start a new character. Glonda's had her bit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kill her off.
Jojo, what about you?
Well,
we that invested in what happens to these lizard people?
We can be if we want to be, I guess. No, I don't know that we are, except that we maybe feel obliged out of the kindness of our hearts to, if we can assist them. But I'm more interested in those.
Do we know
water
anything
elves.
about the people, the creatures the lizard people are fighting? Like, what if they're the good guys?
No,
they're not.
We met them.
No, they're not.
Yeah, you met one
in a jail in the lizard compound.
Yeah,
and he screwed me over.
He was not a nice fish man.
And they err on the demonic side of things, right? Like they're chaotic bad or something.
They don't tip very well.
No,
there's that. Which, as we all know, means that you're a demon. Although, to be fair, I don't think you've had an in-depth conversation with one other than that interaction, but it certainly does. It does not. Yeah.
Has Joe John tried to negotiate with one yet, though?
Not as of such, no.
Joe John, do you not have to deal with some stuff to see if you can become a paladin again? Isn't that something too that we could pursue?
That's just something I'm kind of working on.
Okay.
I don't think
there's no temple that you need to travel to or anything like that.
I don't believe I was given any like penance.
Right. There's no recourse to.
It's just like
I'd be game to try and track down that big barrel of black powder. See what happened with that stuff.
What's the big barrel of black powder? Hold on, I'm getting a knock at the door. We have a special guest star. Please welcome Haley Roboto.
Hey! Whoa. Jeez.
Okay,
I think we need more Haley in this.
Wait, is her hair tied up or did she cut it again?
It's tied up.
Okay. From an angle.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that bun.
Yeah, but does she have one of these? Come on. I mean, this is really, really important thing.
She used to.
Yeah.
She had one of those.
Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Dan and Haley, you have a 30-second conversation about Alec Manoa, starting now.
I think it's in his best interest to send him down.
Get rid of him.
There you go. Fair enough. I agree.
Not even 30 seconds.
I'm so sorry about that, everybody.
I'm sure there's a big Venn diagram of crossover between baseball and Dungeons and Dragons.
I can't believe things just got political, though.
Oh, God. On the topic of black powder, so the thread on that is that Norman met another gnome on your boat ride down to Saltmarsh named Nicholas. And he had a little task with a G. He had a task to try and pitch this idea of black powder as a tool to various mining industries, and he thought he could pitch it down at the Port of Saltmarsh, not having gotten much of a response anywhere else. And he has failed to get an audience with the town council because they always have these other pressing concerns, and when he tells them how amazing it is, they tell him that it's why don't we just use a fireball? So I mean, come on, really. But you know that it's all stocked up. All these barrels are stocked up in the shipyard where there is some storage capacity.
What would we do with these if we had them, Norman?
Listen, there was a monk in the monastery, studied minerals. I tell you, I have a feeling that there's power in this powder.
Mm.
You know, it should be handy to us at some point. I mean, it'll be a bitch to carry around, I suppose.
We have that bag.
All right.
You do?
Yeah. And
is Rich?
Nimmeralian's not here to
Who's going to give us a
herself.
Nimmeralian impersonation?
I am here. What do you do about this powder plot, Norman?
Listen, I just want to keep a couple 100 kilograms of a dangerous black powder just loose in your bag.
Oh, all right, fine.
I don't think the bag,
Great.
That's like 400 pounds.
Well, currently the bag is at capacity. It's full of platinum bullion, which is another plot thread you may or may not want to deal with.
You're going to have to carry this on your back, Norman.
Well, I'm going to definitely stuff my pockets with this. I mean, if I can find any of it,
I can carry a little bit of in my bag for you. Wait a minute. Is this dangerous stuff?
Feel like I need a secret
know.
stash.
I'm not asking you. I'm not carrying it. You can carry it.
Well, fortunately, you don't.
You're not
have
planning
it.
on being.
It's in barrels in the shipyard. You'd have to go and steal.
We're optimists. We believe we will. If we want it, we will end up with it.
Well, I guess. I mean, so all this platinum, like, do we just settle down, buy a place on the water?
Yes.
Well, I know that I would like to. I have some unfinished business. Perhaps, Glonda, you could help me because I am worried about Lady Tolliver.
I'm going to say that this is happening over breakfast the next morning. Back at the house, Jenkins is back. He has stocked the fridge adjacent substitute thing.
Well, Jenkins, please sit with us at the table and have breakfast with us.
Oh, no, sir, I couldn't possibly.
No, I insist.
Oh, no. It's not within my remit, sir. It's clearly laid out for me in butling school that I am not to eat at the master's table. No.
Jenkins, what are the specials this morning?
Well, I can arrange to have any number of breakfast items brought in for you, sir. We have some lovely quail's eggs that have just been imported from Greyhawk, no less.
They're too small. Anything else?
A lovely a steak dinner, perhaps, for breakfast.
Too heavy.
Maybe Sir could just suggest what he would like, and I could wing it, as it were.
I would like some toast with some fruit, perhaps.
Sorry, excuse me. Tergar, can I talk to you for a second?
Yes.
You have a bit of a tone with Jenkins right now. Is something on your mind? Are you being bothered by Lady Tolliver, perhaps?
I might be irritable from that. I didn't mean to take a tone with him. I'm just also not very impressed with the food options that he's provided us.
You think maybe a big box of black powder might help you feel better, pal?
Could help.
Or maybe do you want to see Lady Tolliver?
Maybe both.
Jenkins?
I'll just run out and get some bread, shall I?
Please sit and have breakfast with us.
he dodges out of your grasp. It's impressive. He learned it in butling school. I'm sorry, I interrupted a conversation that was happening between Tergar and Glenda.
Tergar, you and I barely hang out. I would love to help you because I think we would be good friends.
Well, then I need your ship. I'm thinking we maybe could go find...
you want to use me?
No. Look, I laid down my life literally for everyone here.
Oh, yeah, you need more rasp, by the way.
Still?
Yeah.
I laid my life down for literally everyone here. All I'm asking for is a little bit of help finding someone who might be a useful friend to the group.
Well, okay then. You did lose your head.
Yeah.
And they chopped your neck and anyways.
Oh boy.
Yes, I will help you. We will go on the Wyvern together. And I will steal.
Jojo, Norman, are you coming with us?
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah.
Should we stop and see if we can get some of that black powder?
Oh, yeah.
Because we have to go by there anyway. How far is the
Oh,
CL?
your ship is still broken, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's unless you want to find another ship. I mean, there's
how long is
that
going to take?
He estimated it was going to take a while. It's
God.
Which, as we all know in contractor speak, is a time between this long.
Didn't we have to wait before for a ship as well?
Was there?
Hey, we should spend.
Okay, so Andrew doesn't want us leaving.
No.
Was there something on the mainland that we had an option to do?
Yeah, that's what I.
There's the bridge.
Yeah,
it's always a bridge.
Jojon always just wanted to hang out by the bridge.
Well, Jeb and Corco did relate that another body had shown up, drained of blood.
Let's solve the murders, huh?
Sure.
Put on our
yes.
Pets. Well, we can check in. Do you think the guy would have any news about our ship to give us a better timeline?
I'm sure he would, yeah.
Okay, let's go over there.
Okay, so you're leaving without breakfast because Jenkins has just returned with a loaf of bread. He
comes with all the food.
All the food. I'll just leave this in the cupboard for you. Perhaps you're hungry later. Maybe I could back at lunch. Okay. And we cut back to, of course, that means you do have to cross the bridge to get to the shipyard, so I will need saves, constitution saves, at advantage for Jordan and Tergar. And maybe Christine would like to roll for Nimralian, unless Nimralian thinks maybe she wants to stay here. She's not going to deal with that friggin' bridge again.
Constitution, so I rolled a +2, 10.
And you roll it.
I'm rolling just for fun.
I roll at advantage?
Why yeah, because you're half elf.
I rolled for Nim, and I didn't do good.
I rolled a 20.
Excellent.
Ooh.
So Nim takes one look at that bridge and says, "No, I'm not going this. I'm not doing this again. I am gonna go hang out." Could you get to the Temple of Akka without crossing
16.
That's good. You succeed. So, yeah, Nim's is going to hang out the house, so we're not going to have to worry about role-playing her for this session.
Oh, great.
Unless you find her later. You have a little upset stomach. Maybe it's just because you haven't eaten any breakfast this morning, but you cross with no incident and arrive at the shipyard where where everybody is doing some work on the various ships that are here. That you do see the Wyvern has been pulled out of the water, and it is up on a good array of stakes and stilts to get it worked on. And yeah, you see Moloch is nearby, and he's observing his journeyman at work. And he gives Glonda a nod as he sees you in the vicinity, but he doesn't leave his post of supervision. Which is your cue to do something. Maybe improvise what your characters would do at this point.
I don't think I'd be the one talking here. It's your ship, Glonda.
Yeah, unfortunately, Glonda, you have to be the main character for just...
just your storyline. Your
story's not over.
Not yet quite finished.
Okay. So, hey guys, I don't know where to find a ship.
Well, let's just talk to Moloch and see if it's going to be like a week or two, we can solve the murders and then...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Okay, can we go to Moloch?
Yeah. He's still mid-nod in his half-orc kind of way.
Okay. Hey, man, we have some adventuring we totally need to do, and I understand that these repairs take a while. Could you give me an estimate on when things can be ready? Or can we figure out a deal for us to borrow a different ship? You can be compensated for this, obviously, but it's taken a while for my boat to be ready.
He looks at you with an arched eyebrow. He looks up to the boat, and you immediately get that it took them a while to get it out of the water and put it up on all the stilts. And meanwhile, there are some of his journeyman shipwrights that are actually peeling off sections of planking from the hull. You can see right through the ribs into the bottom part of it. And he looks back to you and says, "It will be a while before this can be built back up, but if you need a boat, we can get you a boat. And yes, compensation is very appreciated. Yeah, we can make this happen." He's Russian now.
Cool. Okay, do you have any free now?
Well, where do you need to go?
Where are we going again, Terra?
We want to find the sea elves.
We want to find the sea elves.
We're looking for Lady Tolliver. Your town council person.
We're looking
for...
Yeah. Okay,
Tolliver,
he can hear you. I wasn't sure if you were too raspy.
Have not seen Tolliver for a while. Yeah, usually see her at the opera, but not lately. Sea elves. Well, you need something that could take you a little bit in the bay, but it doesn't need to be an ocean vessel. I could set you up with a nice schooner. I got something here. Let's have Glonda make a persuasion roll. That's always a fun way to negotiate a good price.
Okay. Thank you so much for having something available. It's, we clearly all want to make sure that Lady Tolliver comes back safe and that we can help. Sorry, I was just trying to find my things. Persuasion is a +9, so that's a 23.
He's like, yes, very important to get Tolliver back. Very worried about her. I can get you a schooner for a week, 150 gold pieces.
Perhaps
with crew, with a basket of fruit and everything.
Perhaps Solmar could pay for this, seeing as it is a town that we're helping.
That's an excellent point, Tirger.
If he leans in a bit and says, if the town council going to pay for this, going to be 200 gold pieces.
Okay.
So should we go do right? I feel like that's a
guys,
fair ask.
Huddle. An now. We're huddled away from Malak.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes to the 150. And then we're going to go to the city council. And we're going to say, hey, we'll figure this out. But if you pay for it, now we could probably get this figured out for, 200. Because we got the quote. See if we can get them to pay us back.
I'd say we ask the city council for 250.
Norman,
I'm not comfortable
crazy.
with this. I'm just
crazy.
not comfortable with this.
The city council have this sort of capital outlay budget in their long.
They might. They've been engaging in arms dealing with the lizard people, so maybe they got some extra cash lying around now.
Come here, Lucy.
Look, I don't mind asking for 200. We are putting our necks out on the line.
That's right.
250 makes me feel bad inside.
Okay, no problem.
Fair enough.
Can we all throw in some cash for this and just book it now so that we can try and go get our money back later?
Nimralian has 38 gold pieces. Although she's not with you right now. So
yeah, she's not with us.
Spend,
What's up? Platinum is worth 100 gold pieces?
10 gold pieces.
So it would be 37.5 gold pieces.
Well, hold on. One platinum piece is only worth 10 gold pieces?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I didn't make this system. I just enforce it.
I have 40 total.
I have 75 gold pieces and 10 platinum. So I can pony up. I'll pony up 30. Hold on. I'll put 40 in.
Okay.
45. I'll go 45 because it's my idea.
Okay.
Go after her. So there's 45.
All right. So you pay the man.
What did you guys pay?
I think
so we all have to
I
pay.
think Jordan's still considering.
I'm still getting my character sheet opened.
If we're doing it evenly, then if Tergar pays 45 gold, then the rest of us pay 35 gold.
Perfect.
So
that's good. I like that.
35 gold.
I like that.
Okay.
I can do that. 35.
Okay.
All right. Says, okay, we'll get the crew ready. They'll be here after lunch. I can even find somebody. I'll put the word out, see if somebody knows where you can find these sea elves. Take you right to them.
Yeah, I like that.
Perhaps there's a sea elf in town.
There's not, but they're elves here. They know each other, right? You're kind of half elf. You must know where the sea elves are.
Yeah, I am kind of half elf. Yeah. All right, but well, thank you, Morlock.
Morlack.
Yeah.
He shrivels a little bit.
Great job, guys. We got a boat.
Well done, Glonda.
Thank you for the great ideas.
I like my Batman voice that I get now.
Pretty good Batman voice.
So what? So the plan is we'll go out into the water and then you'll cast your breathe underwater thing or whatever, and we'll all go underwater for half an hour or however the time limit is. And
I don't even know what they look like. Maybe they have an above ground, in water. Anyway, yes, I can cast that if need be, which is good.
First, we should go to the city council,
have water breathing,
right?
Oh, good stuff. Sorry, say that again, Christine?
Did we want to go to city council first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, let's.
All right. So town hall
let's spend our adventure at city council.
Way to go.
Fight.
It's going to be a real bummer for Jordan here, reliving old memories.
Jordan's like, I got away from this life. Now I feel
motions being passed. Roll calls.
Seconding emotions.
Yeah.
Town hall's a mere 150 feet to your northeast.
Let's go. Let's do this. Town hall. Let's ASAP. Let's get out on the water.
You enter City Hall, the town hall, and it is mid-session. The councilors are actually mid-meeting, and you are initially stopped by the guards at the door, but when you remind them who you are, they're like, oh, I'm sure they actually want to talk to you, so hold on a second. And the chamberlain of the council comes out and says, yes, I'll introduce you, one moment. And there's a pause, and
I burst past. I just walk right to the front of the room and go, all right, everybody, we need 200 gold pieces.
I'm surprised you didn't say 250.
It's to buy a boat. Let me finish. We're trying to murder some sea elves. Take it away.
We want to talk to. We're not murdering sea elves. They're.
So everybody.
Terragar works his way to the front and tries to.
No, God damn it! I don't like doing this. We're looking at leasing a boat, and we need 200 gold from you to do that. We need to see the sea elves. We are looking for Lady Tolliver. We have some information that leads us to believe that they might be able to help us find your fellow councilwoman.
And Lord Timber Tikos, the mayor of Saltmarsh, looks over at you and says, "Yes, we have been most worried about where Lyra has been. We have not seen her for quite some time. And she was acting a little strangely for the last few weeks. But why? What need of you to buy a boat? Were you not absent for several months now because you were searching for your boat, and now you return? I thought you had your boat."
Londa?
Our boat took a lot of damage. So either we wait months to go save Lady Tolliver, or, figure out what's going on with the sea elves, or we get a little bit of help. We do the community good. Also, another threat, we will be here until the boat is fixed. You don't want Norman and I in the pub every night. He was the king last night.
Yes, we did.
I was the literal king last night.
All right, let us talk about it for a moment, shall we? If you don't mind waiting just a moment. And you are escorted.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to roll.
Norman walks over and just high fives Glonda.
So you wait for about 5 minutes, and then you're shown back in. And Solmore looks a little bit more engaged when you come back in, like maybe he's made some points. And Timbertikos says, "Yes, we will happily advance you the funds for this vessel that you require. Although we have a few conditions attached, if you don't mind. I don't know if Solmore has mentioned to you, I believe he saw you last night, but the lizard people have informed us of the threats that faces the coast, not just Salt Marsh, but the various communities and other entities that live among here. Threat posed to us by the Sahaugin, the fish people. They gather the lizard people were forced out of their ancestral home by these creatures and now seek to impose devastation and chaos upon the whole coast. Seem to imply that maybe they have their target fixed onto Salt Marsh. We need more information about this. We need to know their intentions, and if this is true, or if this is just talk by these lizard people. So, we happily advance you the funds for this boat, and certainly if you can find Lady Tolliver, that would be most appreciated. But if you could make it a priority to investigate the residence, the former home of the lizard people, for as I understand it, that is where the Saugin now reside. We need to know their numbers. We need to know their intentions. If you could do this service for the city, we could offer you an additional reward.
Where exactly do these sea elves live?
I told you we should have asked for 250.
And he says that out loud too.
It says, well, I don't personally know where the sea elves live. Anybody here know? And Hoskin Lashty, you know him, he's a halfling bard, and he owns the Silver Raven, the swankiest restaurant in Saltmarsh. And he pipes up and says, "Oh, I think they live off the coast. They have an undersea settlement to about 4 leagues to the southeast of Saltmarsh. I believe you only need to call out in their native tongue underwater, and they may send a representative to meet you, but I'm afraid I don't know exactly what that is. That is the last I heard of them." Anybody else? And there are a lot of no's. That's not my... around the table.
If you don't have more information, do you know where we can gather more information on where to find them and how to communicate with them?
I'm afraid maybe there's certainly people within the town that have additional contacts within the communities that are here. Maybe even the lizard folk have. Maybe you don't even know that we have received an emissary from the lizard folk, an elder lizard man by the name of Sauriv. He said he had met you when you visited their new home. And indeed, the name Sauriv rings a bell. He was an older lizard man that you actually spoke to when you went to visit the lizard man and to figure out their intentions. And so what you gather that he is now here in Saltmarsh somewhere. And he's an old lizard man with lots of information. Maybe he knows. That's kind of what they're getting at.
Perfect.
I like that. Yeah, I saw that on the map. There's a lizard embassy that I don't think was there before, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Embassy.
Okay.
Seems like a good place to start.
So we will, on top of our already existing quest to go save Lady Tolliver, we are now to investigate the Sahagian fish people and find out their intentions if they plan to attack Saltmarsh?
Yes, well, the lizard people are adamant. They think that this is an imminent threat. And before we can devote more resources to the defense of the town, and, well, considering the imminent arrival of King Scotty, we need to know whether this is a threat that needs to preempt our celebrations.
Okay, just want to make sure that I took the right notes.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what ChatGPT thinks about them notes later.
Well, I want to know about the fish people for sure. Okay. We will do this for an additional 50 gold pieces.
Timberticos quickly says, sold. Yes, that is a generous offer that you make for us adventurers.
I look at Norman and I go,
Glonda.
each.
A millisecond passes by Timberticos. They all look at each other and go, yes, well, that's what we had thought, 50 each, definitely.
Per day.
Now, I'm not sure we can afford that.
Okay.
Would you like 25 up front? We can arrange that. For walking around cash.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's 200 for the boat, and then 50 gold each as well.
25 up front, and then 25 when we're done.
But I need the 200 up front so that I can go get the boat.
Right.
Yes, well, we can arrange that. Chamberlain, would you please release the funds as all in favor? Everybody goes, aye. And then, yes, please, release the funds, and they can engage at your pleasure.
Okay, perfect.
So
you drive a hard bargain.
Do we split that 12 gold pieces each?
We'll talk later. Not in front of them.
I'm talking in my inside my head.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we should leave first, and then we could talk freely. Let's do that. Thank you very much. Yep.
Thank you. We eagerly await your tidings. And you file out from the town hall.
Okay, guys.
And outside, you see two people in conversation. You had met them before. One is the tall man in red robes, Kelidek. And he is in conversation with somebody who I am going to get the name of absolutely right. Is Zendros, who is a tiefling. And she is you know her as the representative of a country up the north called Ayaz, which is not a nice place, but she runs a shop. She is.
Did we meet her before?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
She suggested that she would be very interested in any magic items that you might want to sell to her, and she occasionally trucks in those. But you maybe are a bit suspicious of her because she lives from a place that was recently at war with many countries, in one of which you reside in. So there obviously has been a peace, and it's a much different situation. But Ostensibly, she is here trading for food that gets sent back up to Ayaz, but they also do a brisk trade in magic items. So anyway, you see them there. Whether you want to engage with them or not is up to you, but
let's engage with them momentarily. Everybody get your wallets out. We all get the money back because we'll split the 150. So Tergar, put 45 gold back in your bank, and the rest of us an extra 35 back.
Great.
And then we're all gonna have an extra 37.5 gold right now.
Oh.
Okay, if it's change from that, then I guess there's 10 silvers and a gold piece. So the 0.5 would be 5 silver pieces.
So 37 extra gold.
35 plus how many silver pieces?
5.
5. Great.
37 plus.
Oh.
So you're taking your 35 gold, which you originally put into the boat. That's the 150?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
And then the extra 25 each, plus the divvy of the additional 50 that we got, is 37.5 gold each. So it'll be 37 gold plus 5 silver.
Got it. Okay.
While you're doing your accounting and chingling your change, I would like us all to take a moment.
I didn't want to forget.
Yeah, absolutely. I would all like to take a moment and paint a scene of what Nimmeralian is doing with herself on her day off.
Okay.
Randomly start with somebody, whoever wants to go first.
I want to say hammock and a book.
Nice.
Maybe some wine.
On brand?
I think she's getting a pedicure done.
I'm currently petting my cat, so I think a cat has climbed in through the window and has made friends with the Moralian.
And then...
Oh, excellent. Yeah?
After the pedicure is over and she is deeply involved in her book and is getting a lot of satisfaction out of it, there's a warm breeze. No, wait, it's cold.
It's cold, yeah.
A fresh breeze blowing that's not too cold. Maybe there's a bit of a break in the cold temperatures. And she just feels completely at ease and relaxed, takes a deep breath, and knowing no one is around, she lets one rip.
What's the book she's reading?
Oh, isn't that huge spell book that
I thought it would have been
acquired?
her the smut poetry she found.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah. On a day off, it's smut poetry, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Said it.
Excellent. So canonically, that's what she's doing. Cool. So our camera returns back to Town Hall, where you have just exited and counted all your money and spread it back amongst its rightful owners. To your north, a fair stretch, you've been advised that's where the lizard folk have taken up residence in a temporary camp where they make their embassy. You also see Zendros speaking with Kelidek nearby.
Do we want? Let's go talk to these people. I remember with Kelidek too. I don't think we fully trust him. We thought perhaps he was behind the little demon there.
Yes, you had a dramatic chase, an imp.
An imp.
Tracked down, yeah.
That we thought he was behind that. And I still am suspicious over whether or not he may be connected to Grazit somehow. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm saying this to you guys in case, like, we have the little like, do we want to talk to him or what? Is there anything we can glean? Maybe he's a key to Lady Tolliver as well. Jojo, why don't you?
I was just looking forward to punching a dolphin, but I mean, sure. I just want to get on that boat and get going.
So much anger inside of you, Norman. Ever since you got that sash, the chippy. Hey, Jojo, you've got the diplomacy skills. Maybe you should talk to him. I'm worried I'll say the wrong thing. I'm definitely worried that Norman will say the wrong thing.
Alona used to guide me. That's why I was so good at negotiation. But I'm willing to try. We'll see.
Wait a minute. So you're saying you're not good at that now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm good at anymore after Alona left.
Brother, I'm so sorry.
It wasn't your fault. It was my fault.
No, it wasn't your fault. It was Grazit's fault.
I chopped off your head.
No, you did not chop off. Someone in your Grazit in your likeness chopped my head off. You didn't actually chop my head off. Now you were responsible for it. Chopped off because you were the one who gave him the damn sword.
From your vantage point, it appears that
we are arguing.
They've stopped talking. They're looking at you. No, they're still talking. You have a sense the body language looks like it's a negotiation of some kind. If you approach, they stop talking and look over in your direction. So I'm going to assume that's what happens when Jojandron approaches.
Hi.
And Zendros looks to you and says, "It is Jojandron, yes? The noble from the county of Ulek, I believe."
Yes, you are Luther Vandross?
So close, so close. Zendros of Rayuz, and she gives you a bow.
Zendros and who is this?
And he turns to look at you and also bows. "I am Kelidek. We met before, I believe."
Aha. And it's nice to see you.
Indeed.
And we're enjoying Saltmarsh.
Blonda, maybe you need to step in here.
And well, so what's new?
There's an awkward pause as Kaladek says, "Oh, nothing really. You know, just living one's life.
Good.
Doing a bit of commerce with my associate."
Good.
Have you heard of the fish people?
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you know fish people?
Fish people?
Well, the Sahuagin.
Oh, the Sahuagin, yes. They are notorious in these parts. They are brutal. Take no prisoners. They have felled many a merchant's vessel.
We've met one of them and didn't quite enjoy his company. But we are looking to establish the threat they might pose to Saltmarsh, and we were wondering if you perhaps knew where we could find them or a representative of them.
Oh, well, I would not hope to meet one of them in a dark alley, if you know what I say. They live by the waters. I do not know where they are now, though I have heard rumor that they have had a confrontation with the lizard folk. In fact, I believe that the lizard folk have come here to escape the wrath of the Sahuagin.
Where did this confrontation take place?
And Zendros pipes up, says, "Oh, well, I heard that the Sahuagin took over the former residence of the lizard folk, forced them to move back to an old ancestral home further up the coast."
Is that right? And if you don't mind my asking, where did you hear this from?
Oh, I talked to many of the residents of Saltmarsh. They trade in rumors and gossip. I don't know exactly which one spread such.
And what do they look like, Zendros and Kelidek?
So Zendros is a race known as the Tieflings. So she has red skin and two large, arguably demonic, because that is their ancestry, horns, which scoop back like this. But still quite attractive. She's 5 feet tall, and she's wearing some ornate and attractive robes.
Meet cute.
Meet cute, definitely. Kelidek is about 6'8", dressed head to toe in red robes and carrying a large gnarled wooden staff. All the picture of a
great staff, by the way, Kelidek.
He beams with a bit of pride, but holds it back. He's too stately and conservative for that.
Now, I was wondering, do you know anybody within the Sahuagin who might be a reasonable, moderate type person who would at least open discussions with a crew of adventurers who have an open mind?
He thinks for a moment, steeples his hands in front of him, thinks, and then comes back to look at you and says, "No."
Mm. And this ancestral home further up the coastline, what's it called?
I'm afraid to say it is not my specialty, not my area of expertise. Zendros, do you know of such a thing? And she shakes her head and says, I don't do much business with the lizard folk. They do not deal in my lines of work. Although I am tempted to wonder whether they have items that I could trade with. I should speak with that new one that I've seen around. What is his name? Oh, yes, says Kaladek. I have met him at the town council. His name is Sauriv.
Sauriv.
He might definitely know more about the Sahugin than us.
And how do you two know each other?
Zendros gives a wink to Kaladek and says, oh, we've engaged in much commerce. Before you spoke to us, we were just negotiating the sale of a book.
A book?
Mm.
We love books. I think I might get a book for my friend Nimerelian for her birthday. I might be.
Zendros you have Zendros's full attention.
What book is this?
Kaladek says, never you mind. Zendros, are we agreed on that price? I shall go no further. And she says, I
think I've intruded upon you guys enough. Thank you so much. It's great talking to you. I run back over to the group.
And Zendros says, come by the store anytime. I will gladly. And by that point, you're back at Joe.
Okay, new mission. I think I had a rocky start, but then I felt maybe not the spirit of Alona, but something. And I felt like I was back in my old Jojandron ways.
That's good. What did you learn?
Listening to that, right? I don't need to repeat everything to you?
We heard, yeah.
Yeah. So we got to go talk to Sauriv.
The old lizard guy.
Yes, and we shouldn't trust the Sahuagin, so there's no diplomatic solution here.
No. Anything else? That tiefling, did she say anything interesting?
Well, I found her to be, even with her demonic horns, somewhat attractive.
Her robes were very nice.
Yes, and Kaladek had a very nice stick.
Excuse me?
He had a very nice dick.
What? One more time?
Kaladek.
Oh boy.
Did we get everything we needed from those two?
Well, I'm interested in that book. I don't trust Kaladek at all. And I wonder if Zendros has anything cool that we could maybe get from her in terms of magical items that maybe we could equip. I don't know. I'd be interested in talking with her. But I think it makes probably a lot of sense that we go to the lizard embassy, check in on our lizard folk friends, speak with Sauri, and then maybe we could, on our way back, stop in at Zendros and find out what she maybe has to offer. We have a ship. What did they? Yeah, that's right. So Moloch has that ready to go.
Yep.
As soon as we pay him. Cool.
You already paid him, actually. You just recouped your dough from the town council.
That's right.
All right.
Okay. So should we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Should we take a break then here, Andrew?
That is probably a great idea, given that's 5 minutes away from when we normally break. So why don't we take 5 and come back 9 o'clock on the dot.
No, I don't think.
Oh, and we're back.
We're back.
Oh, after.
It's a good surprise. We'll have to wait. Mm-hmm. All right, we're back, and you guys have trudged up the riverbank, past Frog Park, and gets to a little. Here, I can even do this to center our map on it. Did that work? Yeah, it totally did work. So you have made your way up to where the townsfolk have told you that the lizard folk have set up their embassy, which is a more highfalutin name for what has turned out to be a series of dugouts and tents and structures with thatch roofs that look kind of like hovels, but when you get close, you realize that they are totally within their element. They are not uncomfortable at all. There are.
How do we get there? Because it's across the river.
You have to. These are
not deep.
They're not deep. No, it's a stream. So like there's stepping stones, stuff you're able to get across.
Okay.
There are a few lizard folk with nicely made metal spears that greet you as you arrive, and you are recognized. You maybe have a hard time telling one from the other, but they recognize you and give you a salute as you come within range. And I don't think anybody has the capacity to speak their language. If Nim was here, maybe she would cast a spell or something, but anyway, they grunt and indicate that you should come with them. So I'm going to assume you don't kill them and go with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into their series of 8 structures that they've built. And within short order, you are brought before Sauriv, who you recognize as the older, stately lizard man. And he takes off a pair of spectacles that he was wearing as he's reading a book. And he looks over and says, my old acquaintances. Good to see you again. Gnome, half-elves, dwarf, nice to see you. Please join me around this fire.
Thank you, Sauri. It's a pleasure seeing you again as well.
I thank you again for the great service you have done for our people. Our trade between us and the town of Salt Marsh has been very profitable.
It's the least that we could do for you. Sauri, we come to you seeking information.
I'm pleased to give you such. Can I offer you food, drink?
Please.
Yes, please.
What do you have to offer?
Let's do 1 round of everything.
Take it 2.
He gives you a respectful nod and says, yes. And you recall with fondness your drinking session with the lizard people back when you had met them in their abode, looking to make a good impression. You remember that they enjoy a foul concoction made from spiders and somehow distilled into a very, very rough alcohol. So some of that is immediately brought out, and your stomach recoils just from the thought of it. But hey, it's definitely got a kick. And there's also a variety of fish dishes that are brought out.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll just focus on the fish.
Excellent. Anybody who's drinking, which sounds like it's going to be Glonda and Norman, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Here we go.
I think Tergar is going to do it too.
Yeah, excellent. You can roll me one of those as well. Oh. Oh.
9.
Yeah. I think you all blew it. You
literally
immediately, yeah. So for Tergar and Glonda, you have a very it does not agree with you at all, but maybe you're suffering through it, and you're getting camaraderily given backslaps. You're brave to try.
He rolled a 1. That's what I just saw, that he rolled a 1.
Norman takes 1 sip of this drink and immediately just vacates his stomach.
Jojo, do you want to have? We're at the embassy. We're having drinks. There's a round of drinks. Do you want one?
Yeah, they got special lizard beer.
It's the spider beer that they like.
Spider beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll your die 20.
For no reason.
Yes, I will roll my die 20. Yeah, I don't have much stir.
Before he can roll, my vomit just hits his face like projectile straight on before the roll can be completed.
Let me roll.
I love it.
I'm gonna
This
get
is to see if Joe John throws up from me throwing up.
He's not even drinking yet.
I see some low rolls from the group.
Yeah, they got some good ones. Maybe yours will be. It is.
Is it also terrible? I missed it.
No, it's awesome.
19.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Better than you recall. If you even had some previously, I don't remember, but
It's a little tangy.
yeah, you see Norman's reaction, you think, what's his problem?
A little tangy.
So after having enjoyed some of this food and Norman lying down to hold his stomach in place and hope that his intestines don't go through his mouth, Saurif says, "So I sense that you have other business, though we are pleased for your visit."
Yes, we were wondering how you felt that your name, at the beginning of it, sounds so similar to Sahuagin, Sauhuygen, and thought maybe did kids tease you about that when you were a kid?
When I was younger, I got many teasings over this. It was an unkind time, but I bit off the arm of the person who was teasing me the most, and we became fast friends.
Oh, good. Do your arms grow back?
No, very sad for him. He died 2 years later.
Oh, geez.
Could not swim to gain his food, but is a lesson that he learned.
Sorry, there's a few things that we're looking for. One of them, the town has actually charged us with inquiring about the Sahuagin, and we're actually going to check out your former home, hopefully with the intent of making it your home again. But also, we're looking for Lady Tolliver. I'm sure you know who she is.
He says, I met many human types when I first meet the council. This name...
She was the druid on the council.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Anyway, I'm not... I know that you probably wouldn't know where she is. However, we were hoping to follow up a lead with the Sea Elves. And we were told that perhaps you could help us find where the Sea Elf village is.
He says, yes, I am aware of where it is, generally. But they are very, they keep to themselves. They do not speak to us. We did send out some emissaries to discuss possible alliance against the Sahuagin threat, and let me say, I am very pleased to hear that the council is going to send you to investigate the threat of the Sahuagin. They are without mercy. They will descend upon this coast. They have already taken our home, and they will take Salt Marsh if it is in their way of their ambition. They seek to extend their empire, make all of us slaves.
Do you know who they might be aligned with? Is there another force backing them?
Yes, I believe, well, as I say, we reached out to many of the seagoing races, the Merfolk, the Locantha, and the Coalinth, but the Coalinth did not receive us. We think that maybe have aligned with the Sahuagin. And you have encountered the Coalinth before. They are the hobgoblins of the sea.
Oh, yeah.
So, whereas there are the merfolk, which have they're like humans, but only they've got gills and swimming arms and that. And the Locantha are kind of eel people. Yeah, there's a whole new world down there, as the song goes. But the Sahuagin are, as Saurif goes on to explain, are well known as the most ruthless and bloody of killers. They are, you'd call them shark people, and they're common trait is that they have a bloodlust. Literally, when there is blood in the water, they can be hard to stop from the purpose of killing, which kind of motivates their whole society.
And you have no no reason to think that perhaps there's any demonic meddlings here.
He shrugs and says, demonic, and he struggles to sort of find the common equivalent. And he says, I do not know if the Sahagin worship demons. I know that they have a religion that they follow. They worship the foul creatures of the sea, but I do not know more than that. Maybe you will learn this when you investigate them.
The foul creatures of the sea?
No, not what you're thinking. Not with the W. No, it is with a U. I have learned your language. Yes.
I thought you meant a pelican or something.
No, that would be different. This is a different race. No, not this one.
Got it.
And forgive me for my ignorance, but my sea elf brethren, I am assuming that they speak Elvish.
Yes. Yes, they speak a dialect of Elvish. Although they are educated, they can speak your common tongue.
Jojo, between you and I think if we can find that spot in the water, I think we should be able to communicate with them.
But do we want to?
Sea elves.
Oh, sea elves.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, if we give you a map, would you be able to give us the general location where our sea elf friends might be found?
He nods and says, yes, and I can tell you where our ancestral home is, with that which the Sahagin have invaded and made their own.
So it's not where we saw you before. It's a different place.
It's a different place. When you saw us, we had been forced to move into our old... We move around a bit when we expand. Where you met us was an older home that we had made. We'd made a much nicer place further down the coast, and the Sahagin took it. So we ultimately we would like to have that back.
I see.
If all the Sahagin were dead in the process, so much the better.
Anyone else have any questions for our friend Sauri?
You know what language they speak?
Which they do you mean?
The fish people.
The Sahagin?
Yeah.
Hagen?
Sahaginese. Says they speak their own language. It is hard to listen to. I think some of them speak the common tongue. I don't remember. I know you spoke to
what their native tongue is, I guess, is my question.
The name of it? I know not, but it is their own language. They speak it among themselves.
So there's no way we could, learn a few words.
You might. I don't know if they have words for do not kill me or please stop trying to kill me, biting is hurting me, things like that. Mercy is definitely not in their language, I can tell you that. Die, maybe? They shout something a lot, which may come out as die, perhaps.
Do you know how to say hello?
I don't know if they have a word for hello. They may have a word for submit. That is a word that they have.
You know it?
He tells you that word, yes.
Okay, I'm putting that word in my memory bank.
Okay.
I know how sorry, I know how I'll say hello to them, and I take out my shillelagh and I put it in my hand. Hey, sorry, look, with my shillelagh here, look, see that? That's how I'll say hello.
He says, that is good, but, and he reaches out and he pulls out this lovely, beautiful long sword that he's purchased from Saltmarsh, from an expert metalsmith. And he says, I like this much better. If I have to fight, I will kill them with this. I will gut them like they fish.
Yes.
I don't know if a stick will hurt them so much.
You haven't seen me use my stick.
Would you like this sword, maybe? Maybe it will be better for you.
I don't deal with metals, actually. Perhaps my brother could use that. Jojo, do you need a new sword?
I feel like I'm always in need of a new sword.
Yeah.
I think I have a sword right now.
You do have the long sword that you got from Nim.
Yeah.
But so maybe this one has magic. We could sell it if you don't need it. Take it.
I don't trust magic swords anymore after
I will take the sword. I will take the sword off of you. Thank you very much.
He gives you a nod and he hands it to you. He gives you a very nice matching scabbard.
This is a long sword?
It is a long sword.
Bless you.
What you are short of is a great sword. That used to be your weapon of choice, Jordan.
Yes.
But maybe since you decapitated your brother, maybe you were off great swords. I don't know.
No, I could have a great sword. Is this a great sword or a long sword?
It is a long sword, but you know that the town would somebody might sell a great sword in there.
Maybe that tiefling Zindros.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out for a great sword.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you very much once again for your hospitality. Another round of drinks, everybody.
Another round of drinks.
Another round of drinks. Let's do this. Come on.
Make it 2.
From the ground, Norman calls out for another round. So yes, the saves all
15,
around.
15.
That's enough.
6.
Yeah, not enough.
Come on, 19 again.
you did
good.
it. Yeah. Oh, and you've got a good constitution bonus, I think, hey, Christine?
I think I have 4.
You're good.
Yeah, anything over 15. So, it gets better, I guess, the second one you have, unless you're Norman, in which case, down there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely peeing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that sounded like something else. Oh,
definitely Norman is not having his best moment here. You have your doubts about this one. Maybe this is an alcohol that doesn't agree with you. Maybe you need to give it another try, but just not now. Who knows?
One more, Norman.
Yeah.
All right. If Tergar, my buddy Tergar wouldn't lie to me, one more. Here we go.
Where's the roll? Did it come through?
Oh my god!
I didn't see yours, Dan.
Yeah, it didn't come through here. It didn't do. Oh shit!
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So the third one is not better. In fact, it's as bad as all the rest. And the worst part is you're not drunk because you've been vomiting it up pretty much the moment it passes your lips. But it provides remarkable comedy stylings for the lizard folk who are just impressed that you're keeping on trying. Your attitude with the lizard folk has increased.
Can I say that maybe perhaps how that played out is Norman had his third one, threw up. Tergar started laughing at him, and then it hit him, and then he threw up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, likely. Okay, so it is definitely afternoon. Nothing like a little bit of spider beer day drinking to unsettle your stomach. And you drag Norman back into town. Jordan's fine. Jon's fine. He doesn't know what the fuss is about this beer.
Well, it's a little tangy.
Definitely a little tangy.
Should we go to the tieflings shop?
Well, yeah, if you haven't slammed your stomach hard enough, it is on the other side of the shark fin bridge.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. We can't trudge to that farmer's field?
Oh, yes, you can. Look at that. In fact, you have to, unless you find another way to get around the water. So, yeah, you are on the right.
It's on the western side of the bridge.
On the west side.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, this would just be the night of Constitution saving throws. But yes, you managed to get there without any bother, any additional damage to your intestines. So, what has Nim moved on to for her next next activity of the day, restful activity of the day?
She's decorating apples and fruit. She's making fruit animals out of sticks. It's a hobby from when she was a kid.
What I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well, we know Nim. We know
it's true.
And we grew up with her. But we know that
they're perfectly anatomically correct food animals. Like to the very perfect detail.
Yeah, she uses her use of raisins are exceptional.
She's disgusting.
Wait, hold on. Did what's his name? Captain Scody just get here?
Where was Captain King?
What's his name?
King Scody.
King Scody.
King Scody. No, he's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
All right, she's having a good time. You make your way down the coast and pull up to the quartermasters of Ioz, Xandros, her storefront. And there's nobody there other than Xandros and another person who's dressed in some foreign-looking robes. But she sees you as you approach and says, you came to buy some goods. Delightful to see you. Please come in. Can I offer you food and beverage?
I'm fine, thank you. Well, actually, wait, do you have anything hard to drink?
Oh, indeed.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, we've got a lovely selection of wines.
I was hoping you might have some spider beer.
Oh, yes. Well, we have taken a few bits and pieces from the lizard people, but I haven't put it on the shelf yet.
Let's do a round. Let's do a round of spider beers, everyone.
She looks at you like, are you sure you want to drink that?
Do it.
All right, here's the roll.
Excellent. Pour some for you. So your constitution saves. You needed to beat a 15. Did anybody beat a 15?
No.
I think Joe John might have actually beat a 15.
What's your constitution bonus?
Good question.
Well, it's a saving throw.
0.
Now
I
that
didn't
you're
make
in the
it.
fighter class, you get a different save. There we go. Let me see. You've got a +5 Constitution saving throw, and you rolled pretty good. So I think.
Oh yeah, he did then. Yeah.
Just a little tangy, but it's still pretty good.
Everybody else, not so much. So yeah, there's some good.
Welcome to the club, Glonda.
You're all buckled up. You'll like this one day, for sure. You'll like this one day.
It's been a while since the booze has made me feel this way. It's been a while.
Yeah, you have an odd chittering in your ears. Maybe it's just a side effect of the beer. Feel a little antsy. So she's looking at you askance, like, "Well, I see you know your beverages. You are well-traveled adventurers. Is there anything that I can tempt you with?"
Norman is on the floor during all of this, just in his own puddle.
Do you have any, I don't know, any magical items perhaps that might be of interest to us?
Indeed I do. Well, I suppose that would beg the question of what is of interest to you. I have many things. I am interested in trade to bring things back to our master in Ioz. Perhaps you have magic items you wish to trade with me?
I've got this longsword.
This is the one you just got from Sardi?
Yes. Yeah.
She looks at it, and you sense that she is casting some magic, perhaps detect magic, and she says, while it is a fine weapon, it is not enchanted.
I don't have anything, guys.
I've got something. Do I still have that horn that blows bubbles?
You sure do have that.
Here, this very magical horn. Take a peek. Tell me about it. Antiques Roadshow style.
Yeah, she looks at it and says, this is a very interesting piece. Well, I have not seen one of these for some time. And you would part with this?
I mean, if the price was right, if I'd be willing to exchange it for something.
Indeed, I'm sure I could find such a thing. What would you be interested for? Is there anything for which your heart desires?
I have had a pretty rough morning, and so
some Alka-Seltzer really is all I'm looking for.
As a visitor to this place, I would be interested to hear what the specials are.
What the specials are? Well, I see what you say. Well, I have this item, which we do not necessarily need in Ioz, and I see we had a double blow up there. It's nice.
Sorry, it's my fault.
Have you had too much spider beer, Al? She pulls out a ornately done up bag. It seems to be sewed together from many patches, and she says, "This is what is known as a bag of tricks, and it is a very interesting."
And I say, "Sold." I just grab it at the word "bag of tricks."
Excellent.
And I just take it, and I don't wait to hear the rest of the pitch.
She says, "Do you wish to know how it works?"
I mean, if you want to, but you had me at bag of tricks.
Well, I admire your spirit of adventurer, Dome. We will find a home for this in Ioz. Thank you for your trade. You are much more forgiving to trade with than that Keladek. He went on for hours.
What exactly was it that this book? Well, can you tell us a bit about it? Perhaps we might be of interest. It might be of interest to us.
Well,
perhaps we can outbid him.
I regret to tell you that sale has already been transacted, but I will tell you that it was a book of magical lore that he had an interest in. Beyond that, I cannot divulge a client solicitor privilege.
I understand. Mm-hmm. What's your take on this, Keladek? Is he of noble spirit?
I would say that he is generous in his dealings, although he does drive a hard bargain. He seems to be something of a scholar. He has never welched on a deal. He brings occasional items to me that are of interest to my master.
Mm. May we ask you a question related to business, if you mind, Zendros?
If it is related to business, I am of all ears.
No, that's not related to business.
Oh, well,
just
then, sure. Why not?
Look, I understand
conducted a marvelous trade. Glad to have small talk.
I understand that you may feel like a bit of a fish out of water here, being from Aya's, what was formerly an enemy territory. That cannot be easy for you.
It has been an adjustment.
Question for you. Have you ever heard of a demon named Grazit?
And she looks at you a bit. She's interrogating with her gaze as to your intentions with that, and says, "I have heard this name."
What do you know of him?
I know that he... Dan, roll your insight for me, please. She sort of clams up a bit, and I'm going to see if you figure out what might be behind that.
So I've got good insight. That, and then you got the bad rolls. That's a 20.
20 total. Okay. Definitely she knows the name. Definitely she knows there's a combo reaction of fear and apprehension and wondering kind of where this is going. But she does kind of clam up and says, he is known in Ioz, and I would advise you to be wary and stay clear of him.
Oh, I'm quite familiar with Grazit. I'm very familiar. I am to assume that you haven't seen him recently?
No, and I would pray not to.
Very well, I understand. Thank you, Zendros. And I hope I didn't cause you any discomfort.
None None whatsoever. Your 20 insight still rolling here. You've caused her great discomfort. She perks up, though, at the looks of all of you and says, is there any other item that I could interest you in?
And she doesn't take gold, eh?
She might. She hasn't. She's more interested in getting magic items, so trade is her preferred thing. But you know, if she had something she'd be willing to part with, maybe.
Do you have any magical leather armor?
Let's see if she does. I'm gonna roll me a die. She has, she's got a set of magical leather armor. She says, I think it might even fit you. And she sort of roots through a big chest in the back, and she pulls out a set. It looks like it's of elvish crafting, even. So you know that it's probably got some nice provenance to it. And she says, I would be glad to find a home for this. It is not quite the style in Ayaz. What could you trade me for it?
Well, before I offer you a price, could you tell me about its attributes?
She says it is durable and it would withstand many a sword's blow, I'm sure. This D&D speak for it's probably like +1.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to be rude here, Andrew. I don't know what these things go for. What price do you think would be fair for something of this? Would 30 gold pieces be sufficient?
Wow, too high. Way too high. So too high.
Well, Norman, I'm feeling generous today.
Yeah, it's she says, yes, perhaps your knowledge of trade and commerce in the field of magical items is maybe how shall we say, at a novice level. Perhaps you are not aware of the current environment of trade in Saltmarsh. That number is far too low. I would perhaps be tempted to part with this for somewhere in the realm of 700 to 800 gold pieces. If it were
how much we spend on the boat.
Perhaps if it were strictly a monetary transaction.
What about some ball bearings? I have a bag for them and everything.
Are they magical?
No. Antitoxin.
Hey.
A tinderbox.
John, you have a bunch of rocks, right? Some of those rocks surely must be magical.
No, I used to have rocks, but I got rid of that a long time ago.
Well, I got rid of my magic stone thing.
I have a black powder that does some pretty powerful things when exposed to energy. Here, bring that candle over here.
So
I take a little pinch of powder and I throw it at the candle, and a little fireball pops up.
And she is remarkably impressed by that. After sort of recoiling back from that, says, "This is truly remarkable. A powder that burns so bright. I could see maybe there are some potential uses for this. How much do you have?"
Well, I mean, Tirgar, buddy, like, this just looks like leather armor. Like, how badly do you want this stuff?
I don't know. It looks nice. I mean, I have a lot of special things.
I mean, it fits your body. Like,
it does fit my
quite
body.
Beautiful.
It looks really good, and I haven't really asked for things very much. Wims, if we got you, I don't know, 10 kilos of this stuff.
She does some calculations.
That's
in her
way
head.
too much. So much. Oh my God, Tirgar. You're so bad at this.
I don't like this very much.
She sort of is doing some calculations in her head and thinks, I could be interested in such a thing. You must understand that we are entering commerce into an area where there is no fixed value. So we are setting a trend, you and I, for this. Though if the powder it does as it promises on a consistent basis, I may be able to find a consistent market for such. Where does it come from?
You don't need to know.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Huh. You'll never find out about my good friend Nicholas, who's
Jojo
back in the town dejected because he wasn't able to sell any of this stuff for anything.
Zendros is looking over at Norman saying, really? Is that so?
Look, Jojo,
yes.
Glenda, is there anything perhaps you would like? Because perhaps we could do a bigger deal here.
Well, the only thing I'm really interested in right now is a great sword.
Oh, there you go.
I don't expect you would have anything like that here.
And as Jojon is saying that, the door is to his back, and you glance and you see behind him there is a giant sword over the door, and she says, I may have something that might suit your needs, and she sort of gives it a nod, and you look around, and it is a very ornate looking sword, a very nice straight blade. The scabbard is behind it. It gleams slightly. There are some...
Is that a Slorcon 391 model?
Ooh, you are a connoisseur, sir.
Yes. That's brushed with the finest steel tool.
And it even has the matching quillins.
Yes.
With speed bumps.
Oh, and it's made in their old factory. Oh.
Yes, the ebony pommel was a factory extra. Could not get that from the original set.
That's right. Wow. Well, this probably cost 5-6 gold pieces, I would imagine.
I think it even retail it was more than this.
Yes.
And it is now a collector's edition.
Right, but not much more, I think. But yeah. Well, yeah, I could. What would you sell that for?
She says, "This powder. What unit of measure does it come in?"
What was it again?
It comes in pinches. So what you just saw, one pinch. So it's a piece of pinch.
I could imagine that in greater quantity it would have much more of a salient effect.
You could imagine correctly.
If one were to get, say, a chest filled with this, is it available in such quantity?
Yes. You'd have to just give us enough time, and we could provide it in whatever quantity you want at a piece of pinch.
Could we say then that for a crate of that, or whatever, the chest of that, that Jojonjon would get his great sword, I'd get my leather armor. Norman gets his other magic item back, so he gets his bag of tricks.
I have the bag of tricks. It's the horn. Okay. I don't need the horn. Glenda, that was a fair trade.
Glenda, what would you like?
I'm not sure. Trying to think of it. I don't know what I need right now. I've got my buddies here.
Do you have a magic weapon that you're using, or magic armor that you could give you a boost?
I don't have anything magic.
Well, there you go.
Do you have any spider beer?
Yes, plenty.
You have run me out of spider beer. You do cast your eyes over what looks to be a set of drums, a small set of drums in the corner, gathering dust. And they, even to your eye, like maybe drums aren't your preferred instrument, but your bardic training shows you that these are a very well put together, like a very proficiently designed set of instruments. Like it would be easy to transport, but you also can't help but notice that there are some very intricate runes that have been scrawled around.
It's like a drum set, like the big drum, and then the cymbals, and the like.
More of a hand drum.
Van Halen.
More of a hand drum, yeah. So it's an entire drum set made for adventuring. It's got wheels in the bottom.
Tell me about those drums.
Ah, fine eye. This is known as the Rhythm Maker's Drum. And for those practitioners that employ music in their magic, I am given to understand that it makes the casting of these effects easier and more potent.
So it will make casting musical spells stronger, or just any spell?
Musical spells. She's talking about bardic spells.
All right, so let's include the drums, the great sword, my leather armor. Guys, do you think Nim would want anything?
Probably armor, too.
Yes. Do you have any more armor, perhaps, for an elf?
For an elf, specifically, armor? I think you hold that set of leather armor is the only elven construction that I have.
Is there dwarf armor?
Oh, indeed.
Would it help me?
Well, it's the tricky thing with a character in your class. You could either get armor, which gives you a higher armor class, but you wouldn't be able to use your armor class, your dexterity bonus. So it's a question of whether you want to be able to move or you want to just sit there and tank it.
I'm not going to tank it.
Okay.
I'm good. I'll stay with my drums. But thank you.
Okay.
Do you have anything perhaps for a sorcerer? Wait, what is she? A sorcerer or a wizard? What is she? Sorcerer.
She's a wizard.
She's a wizard. A wizard. Do you have anything perhaps a wizard would find of use?
Oh, well, we have a small selection of wands. I think those are de rigueur for wizards, are they not?
I think so, yes. Guys, is that right? She does use a wand, right? Jojo? Londa? Norman, right?
I don't know if I've seen her with a wand.
I don't know either. I feel terrible.
I think she'd be stoked to get a wand.
Yeah,
Right.
I think she'd like a wand.
That's a good gift, right?
Yeah.
She likes that. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll take the wand.
Okay.
2 wands.
Well, I was going to propose that for the wand, the leather armor, the great sword, and the rhythm maker's drum, 2 chests of the powder would be sufficient.
Well, wait a minute. What size of chests? Are we talking about big chests, small chests?
These chests, and she gives 2 rather large, what size of chest would we be talking here? Probably like a gym bag size of chest.
Like a banker's box.
Yeah, you suspect it would empty quite easily one of those barrels of powder.
And how many barrels are there?
Well, he transported a number of barrels off of the barge into the shipwright's.
Yeah, so there's enough
building
of it.
There's quite a number there.
That we could fill these.
Yep.
Well, how do you guys feel about this? Do we have a deal, guys? Does this make sense? Yeah. Norman?
I'm going to say 2 barrels minus a satchel.
She says, I know not how you measure this powder out, but if these 2 chests were to be filled with the powder, that would be more than sufficient for my interest in return for the items that you seek.
Cool. Deal. Let's do it.
Excellent.
I'm going to... I don't have 2 chests on me, but I'm going to give you...
here you are. She provides you with the chests.
Yeah, she's giving us the chests.
Oh, I meant like they're not... Okay, cool. I was going to leave a bit of powder as a down payment, but we're fine. You don't need a down payment. We're good for it.
Yes, when you return with the filled chests, I will happily relinquish these items into your care.
Right, of course. Let's go, guys.
So these chests,
yeah,
they're in the shipyard. They're under guard, I'm assuming, correct?
Well, the barrels, there are barrels of powder, and they are in the shipyard, yeah.
And the owner of them, what was his name again? Nicholas?
Nicholas, yeah. He brought them down.
And he doesn't want them anymore, right?
I don't know if you know that.
Oh, okay. No, I just couldn't remember what the story. That was a long time ago.
He came down unsuccessful at selling it.
He wasn't. Okay.
Well, he had lamented that he had not been able to get an audience with the town council to show him off. They keep on putting him off.
Right.
Well, so are we stealing this, or are we gonna offer him some compensation for two?
I think we capitalism this. So we offer to buy some of his black powder at a fraction of the price, and then sell it back to Dude Man for the armor and the wand and stuff.
Lady,
sorry.
Zidros is out. Yeah, look at the picture I put in the comments. That's her.
Totally her.
Right.
I like it. I like that plan.
Yeah.
All right. So you will advance it so that you track down Nicholas. He is at the Silver Raven, and no, he's not the Silver Raven. He can't afford that. What am I talking about? He is. Let's put him at Dancing Dryad, which is still on your side of the
good.
river.
We don't have to cross. Oops, sorry. Yeah, we don't have to cross the bridge. Okay, good.
That's right. Dancing Dryad being the casino / brothel / burlesque house. Always a good time. Norman had a really great time there some time back. And so that is where Nicholas and his entourage of other gnomes that came down with him are currently found. And we're late afternoon now.
Norman, you take this one. He's one of your people.
And Nicholas, buddy.
He lights up when he sees you. Norman, join us. He's got a big tanker.
Unsuccessfully, bad secret handshake, improvised nonsense. What's up? What have you been up to? Spill the tea.
Well, we still in a holding pattern, although I suppose that's not the right term. But anyway, I like it. With the council, we're thinking of picking up stakes and going back to Nicola Draw. I think we might get a bit more of a reception there. Gidway here, he's got a contact over there who says that maybe there's an interest in this stuff. They're not going to buy it here.
So you haven't sold any of your inventory yet? They weren't interested in anything?
They won't even see it. We try to tell them about it, and they just say they can do this all with magic. It's like, well, that's great, but what if you don't have a wizard around at the time? What are you going to do then? They're so short-sighted. It's all magic this and magic that.
But if that's what the market dictates, then how much is it costing you to ship this stuff around? It's heavy. You must be losing money.
We've got a budget for travel, but we're drinking through it,
No doubt. If this continues, you're going to, come back not empty-handed, but full of powder and nothing to show for it.
They look a little bit more glum at these revelations, like maybe the thought hadn't occurred to them until you put it in their head. And in synchronous fashion, they all upend their tankards and go, he's probably right.
Are you married, Nicholas?
Yeah, haven't seen my daughters in about a year now.
And you don't have anything to show for it?
Well, and he pats you on the shoulder. We've met some nice new people along the way. That's something.
Wow. My heart is touched, Nicholas, but also a little bit broken. I'll tell you what. So you won't go home empty-handed. Let me buy some of this powder off of you. I'll be your customer.
Are you sure?
Listen, I know you had high hopes. You were hoping to fetch a high price. I think it's cool. I don't really get it, but it's interesting.
It's you can't turn it into a drink or eat it or anything. It'd be kind of bad for you if you tried to do that.
You know what? It's fine, Nicholas. Listen, how about I know it's worth a lot to you, and maybe I'm insane by offering this to you, but I've got one big like hunk of platinum, and I'll buy the whole lot.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you have the bar of platinum with you. And he looks at the platinum. He says, "Can I see that?"
Yeah, sure. Here you go, buddy.
Okay. And they all look it over and say, "Oh, wow, this is really, geez, I haven't seen anything like this." And he says, "Where did you get this?"
I've had it. It's been around, platinum. We've been on some adventures. The exchange rate is weird, and I know carrying platinum around is a bit of a pain in the ass, but like, I think that it's worth something, and so it's kind of a bit of an awkward trade. But if you take this weird lump of platinum, maybe you can turn it into something useful, and I'll take some of this black powder, and I'll see what comes of it.
He says, "Yeah, I think we might have a need for it. We might be able to make something of it. I think we might have a place we could sell it."
Joe Jondron just slides pen and paper onto the table. Just
I mean, just think of if anything, if you could get a smith in to make a little something shiny and beautiful for your wife, I think you'd come away looking pretty good out of this deal.
Okay. Nicholas looks at you and he looks at his companion and says, "1 sec," and they go into a hubbub. Blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, can you make a persuasion roll for me, Al?
Sure can. Here we go.
It's not bad for you. What's your bonus on persuasion? I think that's related to your charisma.
What is my persuasion? +2.
That is +2. So yeah.
So what's that, 18?
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Okay, he comes back and says, "Norman, I'm touched by this offer. Yes, we would be glad to make this trade. We could trade you one of the barrels for this. I hope you're not insulted, but we're hoping to sell these barrels for 2,000 gold pieces each. And I don't think that this bullion is worth it, but as you say, we may not have an opportunity now, so we would be glad to take the loss and also to trade with a friend."
That's all we need, right? The one barrel would cover what she wants.
I wanted two.
Well, you think one barrel has enough powder to fill these 2 chests, and possibly a bit left over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay,
they're big
that's
barrels,
awesome.
yeah.
That's a great deal.
I mean, we still have more. I thought we all walked away with a bunch of platinum, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, you got a ton of these bullion. Yeah, there are 20 of these pigs.
Yeah,
they
I've got
each weigh
25 pounds.
They weigh 25 pounds, so they're like holding up with.
I mean, I think 2,000 gold pieces for one of these giant platinums is a friggin' steal. But,
yeah, and think of what we're getting in return too. So that's.
I understand the pain in the ass of smelting them down. Let's get Nicholas. Maybe it was all the spider wine, but here's a second one. Give me a second. I'll take a second barrel. Let's make a deal.
Okay, so he says, "Okay, yes, sure. Did you have any more of these?"
I have one. I can give him. Ergar can come in and offer his, because he's 2 barrels for 2 platinum, right?
Yeah, that's right. One each. One barrel will bullion.
So
will get you
Tergar comes in and offers his platinum bar that he's got in his bag.
Okay.
Or whatever that thing, bullion. Anyone else want to buy a barrel?
Okay, as you're doing that, Dan, out of the corner of your eye, you can see another table, and there are 3 people at that table who are all watching this exchange at your table as you are handing over these big 25-pound shiny pieces of valuable looking metal. And you're not a great judge of character, but you're not sure that they are looking at you with that generosity of spirit. They might have that look of...
Yeah.
might have that look of poorly suppressed greed.
Yeah, we shouldn't have done this perhaps in such a public spot. But what are they? Are they human? Are they?
They are 3 gruff-looking. I want to say they're human, but they might not be. That's a good point.
I'm totally just or the barrels aren't there though. I'm handing the platinum over, but the barrels are still in a warehouse somewhere.
They are, yeah.
He's signing his name on the piece of paper.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
As long as that signature's down.
Yeah. They're males. They're human males.
Okay, and
unsavory would be the word you might use to describe them.
So I lean over to the group and I just say, don't look up. There's 3 unsavory types that are watching us. DeNicholas, may I suggest that we escort you when we go to retrieve our purchased items, and perhaps you leave town immediately. We can escort you.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, well, I didn't think we were going to leave immediately. We were going to wait for Scotty to come and celebrate the
Just
flurries.
You leave immediately unless you want to find yourselves in the river as a dead body."
He looks at you like you just fucking threatened his life. So
no, I'm not.
I'm not threatening. I'm worried
those guys are going.
Hey, no, everything's. Don't mind.
I should have let you talk.
I take it my
find
new
gnomes so frustrating to talk to. I'm trying to help these guys, and
Norman, I don't know about the company you keep here. Who is this guy?
Listen, everybody, stay cool. Joe John, put that sword away. Listen, thank you very much for the signature. I suggest you put these gold pieces in a safe place ASAP. I don't know if you've seen the folks at that table. They're kind of making ooh, they don't like what's going on and want to take what we've got. So we'll cause a distraction, and you and your compatriots should just sneak out the back and hide that platinum. Does that make sense?
Sure. Okay. You think those guys are completely misjudging the intentions of everybody in the Dancing Dryad? They look over at the people you reference and say, "Oh, well, you don't look so bad. They're here every night. They hold their drinks just like we do. We've had good times with them."
I agree. Hey, everybody! How about a round of spider beer on me?
Boo!
Is there any? Is there one bottle or one
There's
flagon?
One person that goes, "Yay!" Lizard man in the back.
Great. I take the drink out of his hand and I toss it back in true distraction fashion.
Nice.
And I roll.
Nim bursts through the doors and says, "I saw him roll a 20."
And my 9 turns into a 20.
Yeah, and it's suddenly the best.
I let out a loud belch.
Best spider beer you've ever had.
And I stand up on the bar and
pull your pants down.
And I say, "Let's do another."
Everybody's now chanting Scotty for no reason at all. Word of your legend has spread. With that, you make a distraction, and the gnomes leave with a quick note to say that you can swing by the shipwrights to pick up your barrels whenever you like. And thanks for your biz. I don't know why we're being shuffled out of here, but we will play ball. So they all leave. And in the hubbub, the 3 ruffians do not chase after them. At least if they try and leave, they are unable to get out of there. And they look at you with evil eyes as they eventually leave the Dancing Dryad.
I wonder if those are the guys that have been murdering people. That's my hunch.
Tune in next time.
But they do give you a look. Yeah, we do need a cliffhanger. So as they're leaving, they give you a look, that look that says, "This ain't over." And they draw a line under their necks like this, in all 3 of them at the same time.
Too soon.
Just perfectly choreographed.
Jargoth feels it.
It looks less menacing when we all do it.
John, why did you go the other way? We're all supposed to go left to right, and you went right to left. God damn. All right, that was super fun. I do love the last minute entrance by Nim to throw the die. That was really good. Yeah. Anything else, folks?
Yes.
You gonna wrap it?
No. Next time, hopefully, we have Nim in person.
Yeah.
A married Nim,
And
perhaps.
a
married Brooke playing an unmarried Nim. She said she's going to play on her wedding day. Christine, ball's now in your court.
Joke's on you. We play Mondays. I'm not getting married on a Monday.
All right.
Thanks
Till
for
next
watching,
time.
everybody.
Hey, everybody. Great to hang out.